Welcome to this video, and in this video we're gonna do some problems of elementary algebra. Okay, so these are very simple problems. So the first problem that we're gonna solve are solving for the value of variable. Okay, so here we have equation. Look at that, an equation. So all of these are equations given, and there is an unknown value, unknown quantity denoted by x, here w, here n, and in this problem again x, and we have to figure out the value of these unknown quantities, okay, unknown problem, okay, I'm sorry, unknown values or variables, okay. So this is a very simple problem of elementary algebra, and if you are a beginner, then this video might be helpful, and this is very beginner friendly, and this is for only beginner students who are studying algebra for the first time. So I'm starting off from the basic, okay. So if you're an intermediate, then this video might be a little boring or dull for you because you know all the stuffs already. But if you're a beginner, then there are plenty of new things to learn, and you're gonna learn many things in this. Okay, so I'm gonna start off from the basic and explain everything. So here x is the variable here, and we have to find the value of this x. So what you're gonna do here is, I'm gonna solve this. I cannot multiply or do it. I mean, I can distribute the x into these two, but I'm not going to do that because I can add up these two numbers, okay? So if this operation can be done, we're not going to do any kind of distribution or anything, okay? So add them up, add this up, you're going to get 7 is equal to 18, okay? So I'm explaining very slowly for beginners, okay? Now here we have the multiplication sign, okay? So any intermediate or advanced student, it's pretty simple for them to do it. But if you're studying for algebra for the first time, and then you may not know how to solve for x, okay? So what you have to do here, we want to get x alone because we want to find the value of x, okay? So you have to take x here onto the side alone, and in order to do that, what you have to do here is you have to get rid of this 7, and to get rid of the 7, we have to divide it by 7, because if you divide it, it's 1, and as it gets 1, if you multiply by x, you're going to have x alone, only x left there, okay? So in order to get rid of this, I have to divide it by 7. Okay, and to balance this equation out, I have to perform division with the same number onto this side as well, because then it will be balanced, otherwise it wouldn't, okay? Because I cannot write whatever that I want to write onto here, okay? So whatever thing that I do, I'll do on both sides for solving the problem. Now this will be x because these two cancel out, and gets you 1, and x multiplied by 1 is just x. And then I left with 18 over 7, okay? So that was actually from the beginning how you do this, okay, or the reason, but actually there is a quicker way to perform this, okay? There is a quicker way to do this because we did every step here, okay? We want to find the value of x, we kind of shifted the 7 onto that side, 7 onto that side, okay? So we have shifted the 7 onto that side, and we actually have got rid of this, okay? So I mean, when you get rid of that, x gets shifted onto that side, okay? So you can directly write this as this step. You don't have to perform this step if you do it, I mean, in a quick manner, okay? And that is the recommended manner, okay? That is the recommended method. And that you have to actually, take this onto that side. And if you take that onto that side, you don't have to perform this thing, because if you take that onto that side, I mean, getting rid of the 7 here, it means taking the x onto that side. As you can see that it has got onto that, the 7 has got onto that side, and x is alone because this gets cancelled. And as there is multiplication, it becomes division to that side. And if you do the same kind of thing with other operations like addition and subtraction, you're going to get actually a common rule, or a common rule that when you have a multiplication sign, and if it gets onto that side, it becomes a division. If you have a division sign, let's suppose that if we had a division here, then if you take this onto that side, it will be multiplication. And you can test this using these action methods, okay? So it was multiplication here, okay? So if it is division, it becomes multiplication. If you have multiplication, it becomes division. If you have plus, it becomes minus. If you have minus, it becomes plus. If it gets onto another side. So that is kind of the rule derived from the simple thing. And you can test these on your own, okay? I have written multiplication here. You can put other operators there, division, then addition, and then subtraction, and you can I mean, figure out what do they become as the constant gets onto that side. Okay, so directly we can write this as, or x times 7 is equal to 18, and if you solve for x, it will be, as it gets onto that side, it will be 18 divided by 7 because it's multiplication, and if it gets shifted onto that side, it becomes a division. And it's not a surprising or an awkward kind of rule. It's just a simple rule that if you want to get rid of this x and want to find the value of the variable, and if you get rid of if you get rid of the 7, you have to divide it, and as you perform division, this disappears, and the division also becomes there because you have to divide on both sides. Okay, so the division stays onto this side, but here, and this whole part disappears. Okay, so you can think of this as x remains there, and this gets shifted and becomes the division. Okay, so the rule actually is formed from the simple, from a very simple thing. Okay, the rule is formed from a very simple natural thing. This is comprehensible. Okay, nothing kind of awkward in here. Okay, but any elementary algebra student who's studying for the first time, the rules might be actually awkward for them. Why do you do that? Why do you turn multiplication to division and division to multiplication, and all those operations get changed because of this thing. Okay. So what I wanted to show here is now that we have got the value of x here. If you plug this into this, okay. So I'll also check it out on the bottom. Okay. So as I solve this, I'm gonna check whether this is correct or not for you in the bottom so that you can understand it. Okay, if you plug the value of x into this equation, we can get this to be true. Okay, so x, we got the value which is 18 over 7. So I'm going to replace x with the value that we have found times 3 plus 4. And as we're going to solve this, we're going to get this because it says this should be equal to 18. Okay, so if we find the value of x and plug this in, it gets to 18. Okay, now 18 plus 7 times this will be 7. 7 gets cancelled, and you can have 18 left out there, and as you can see, this is true. Okay, now let's move on to another problem. Okay, but if you already know how to solve these, please go ahead and try it out by pausing the video, and you don't do it on your own. But if you cannot do this, then please resume the video. Now what you have to do here is we have 1/4. Okay, so we have to leave this thing alone, w. We have to get rid of all the other components in the equation, and to do that we have to first get rid of this, because you know that division needs to be done dealt with first, then multiplication. You already might know this in arithmetic. Okay, in arithmetic, when you simplify simple numerical expressions, okay, then you already know that division is to be performed first, then multiplication, then addition, and then subtraction. In the same fashion, here also we have to do something about the division here. Okay, so you have to get rid of this component first, and to do that, we actually going to multiply by 4. Okay, means that it is dividing this, and if you take that onto that side, 1 times 8w minus 4 squared is going to get you 0. Let me just get rid of this. Okay, so I should write here these things that I noted down for you. Okay, division becomes multiplication. It's multiplication actually. Okay, addition becomes subtraction. Subtraction becomes addition. That was easy. Okay, as easy as that. So I hope this might not be any burdensome thing for you. Okay, now what happens here is 4 gets taken to that side, and as this is dividing, there is division, it becomes multiplication. Okay, so I hope this is pretty easy, crystal clear. Now if you multiply this by 1, we're going to get the same thing. 8w minus 4 squared is equal to 0. Okay, this would be 0. Okay, now or 8w and minus 16 is equal to 0. This will be that. And if we solve for this, we're going to get 8w is equal to, if you take this onto that side, 0 plus 16, which is 16, okay, which is just 16. Okay, so please take a habit of writing this without having too many steps, because if you take too many steps, it will be tiresome and too lengthy. Okay, so get a habit of writing this. in short, and to do that you have to practice. Practice is a lot. Okay, you have to practice problems, practice problems from the example page of your book, and also of the exercise. Okay, so practice problems as many as you can. Okay, and if you want to practice even more problems, then the problems actually are given in the description box. Okay, by me. Okay, so I have actually given some problems for you people, for you students to actually practice, and the solutions are also provided below. Okay, but please don't look up look up the solution first. First, try to do it on your own, and if you're not able to do it, then look for the solution. It's given in the description box. Okay, the link is in the description box below. Okay, so what I've done here is 8 gets that onto that side there. It's multiplication becomes division, and W is equal to 2. Okay, so it's pretty simple to find the value of W. W becomes 2. Okay, so you have solved this here. Okay, so this is as easy as that. Okay, so please note this down or take this screenshot, whatever you want to do. Okay, so please note that down now, because I'm going to wipe this up and show you a quicker method, much more quicker. I mean, how to reduce steps there. Okay, so I hope you have noted this down, and I'm going to show you how to reduce steps. Okay, so here we've taken that onto that side. Okay, so instead of writing this 0 times 4, we could have eliminated this, because 0 multiplied by anything, if you guess onto that side, you can do it on your in your head, that if you guess onto that side, it gets multiplied to 0, and 0 is going to yield you 0, because 0 multiplied by anything is 0. Okay, so you could get rid of this step. Okay, now here, yeah, that was a quicker way, and that was also a quicker way. Okay, so it wouldn't take that this much space. I'm going to rewrite this again, so how much space it takes, I'm going to show you. Okay, so this will be 8W minus 16, and before it gets into that, that will be 0. Pretty simple. Let me get rid of this. Or 8W will be equal to 16. It's pretty simple. Or W will be 16 divided by 8. I hope you are following along. Okay. Or if you divide it, this will be 2. Okay. So this can just take this much space only. This much space only if you do it in short. Okay. In short steps. This is going to take up only that much space if you do it. In short. Okay. Now here we're going to perform this problem, and this time I'm not going to elaborate too much, because I think I should because you might be beginners. Okay. So now 6. Here 6 is multiplied. Okay. So we have to get rid of this first, because we have to perform multiplication as per the rule. Now this will be 9 minus 6 squared is equal to 216 divided by 6. This multiplication gets into that side, becomes division. Or now this will be 9 minus 6 squared is equal to, if you divide it, what are you going to get? 36. You're going to get 36. And now what you have to do here is 9 minus 6 will be equal to, okay, look. Here this might be confusing for a lot of students. I'm not going to do this directly, because I know you're not going to understand if you're an elementary school student. Okay. So what you have to do here is, in order to get rid of the square sign, in order to get rid of the square sign, you have to put a square root sign onto here, and as you do that, you have to do on both sides. You have to do it on the both sides, and this becomes, let me just get rid of this. Okay, so one thing that I forgot to do is test this. Okay, so after finishing this problem, I'm going to test both of them right over here. Okay, so I hope you might have noted this down, because till now you should have. Okay, so this is going to be now, we're going to get rid of this, because square root of this will be 9 minus 6. Okay, because the square root of like 4 is 2. How? Because this is written as this, and as you have this in the square gets disappeared, and you're going to have 2. Okay. In the same fashion, here the square also disappears. Okay, so 9 minus 6 is equal to 6. Okay, so I hope you are following along and might know this. Okay, now n will be equal to 12. Okay, and you could have just written this step down. Okay, instead of writing this here. Okay, so you could do this as like this. Okay, 9 minus 6, and the square root sign over there, because if this square, you have to get rid of this square, and as we get rid of this square, the square root sign onto that side automatically gets over there. Okay, so automatically gets put on there, and the square root sign disappears. Okay, so you could also view it as this and do it as this. Okay, as an advanced student. Okay, I mean like an advanced student. Okay, so here we have found the value of n, and now I'm going to test this thing first here. Okay, so the value for this was 2, so 1/4 times 8 times, and I'm going to replace w with 2 because its value is 2, minus 4 squared. Now this should get me 0 as its whole answer. So 1/4 times this is 16 minus 16, and as this is 0, 1/4 times 0, this is just 0. Okay, simple as that. I hope you have got that as well. Now I'm going to test this one. Okay, it's time to test this one. So I'm also performing the checking there, so it gets in your mind and you are comprehending this fully to make sure that. Okay, now we have got the value of n as 12, and if you plug this into that, this should be true. Okay, so 6 times 9 minus 6 squared. I'm sorry, I keep saying 9 instead of n. Okay, it's n. Now if you solve this, it should get me this. Okay, so now 12 minus 6 squared is equal to 6 times. It should be 6 here. Okay, this should be 6 here, and this is gonna get me 6 times 36. And if you do this, 216 will be your answer. Okay, so it also gets me that. I mean, this is also proven. Okay, so can I see this in the camera? Yes, you can. So I've proved this one as well, and I'm gonna get rid of this. Okay, now I have this problem here left to do, and as I do not have space, I'm going to clear some space here. I'm going to do the fourth problem over here. Okay, so fourth one that we have is this 4, then the square root sign x minus 2 is equal to 5. Okay, I think you should be able to do this on your own because this is same as that, opposite of this one a little. Okay, so if you did, I mean, getting familiar with this for the first time, then please pause the video and get your brain around it. Try to do it on your own. Try to find a new way on your own. Okay, if you haven't done the problem, even if you haven't done the problem before. Okay, try to get your brain, because this is the opposite of this. Okay, so try solving on your own, and if you can't, then resume the video. Okay, and I'm solving this. Okay, so as I told you, this is the opposite of this. Okay, so we had the square sign, and to get rid of this, and as we get rid of this, they became the square root sign. Okay, so square sign gets transformed. This is square. Okay, so the same x squared. Okay, so if you get rid of this, onto the other side of the equation, it becomes square root. Okay, it becomes square root, and if we have a square root onto the other side of the equation, it becomes squared. Okay, so meaning same as that. Okay, so what actually I told you was that if you have a square root sign, a square sign, it becomes a square root sign. If you have a square root sign, it becomes a square sign, vice versa. Okay, if you put on another side, if you put that on another side. Okay, so first we have to perform the division and multiplication there. Okay, and if multiplication gets into that side, division, and then we have to solve for this. This gets changed into square as this gets onto that side. Okay, so now x minus 2, we're gonna have x minus 2 left there, is equal to 5 over 4 squared. Okay, because as it gets onto that side, it becomes squared because of opposite of this one. Okay, we had a square becomes square root. We have square root, it becomes a squared. Okay, now x minus 2 would be 25 over 16. Okay, so wait a minute, I'm going to clear the space out here also. I'll do it in more space. Okay, so it should be x minus 2 is equal to 25 over 16, and as we solve for x, this will be 25 over 16 plus 2, and the value for x will be 25 plus 32 divided by 6. I'm doing it like a beginner, so that you can understand. Okay, 57 divided by 16. Okay, so simple as that. This was the answer for x. If you plug this into that, we're gonna get our testing. Okay, we're gonna get 5 there. Okay, if we test it. Okay, so it is 4 square root. X here is 57 over 16 minus 2, and we're gonna get 5 if we solve this. Okay, so 4 is square root sign, and then 57 minus 32 divided by 16, this gets you 4, and square root, and if you do solve that, you're going to get 25 divided by 16. Okay, 4, and this will be 5 divided by 4. If you take the square root of these two, okay, now 4 gets cancelled, you're going to be left with 5. Okay, so there we have it, 5 proven to be the, okay, so, I mean, yeah, as this equation has been proven, and this value has been tested here. Okay, so I hope you have got this.